Hello and welcome to another mini air crash investigation documentary about accidents and incidents that have happened to various prop planes. I'm not going to say any more, we're just going to get on with the video. This is Cross Country Crisis, and that's what this particular documentary is called. Let's just watch and see what happens. There we go.
It's the morning of January 30th, 2009. The Seneca owner-pilot has invited several friends on a flight from the Chicago area to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, and Clearwater, Florida. The flight is ready to depart when another pilot notices 5 passengers on board the 6-seat Seneca and expresses concern that the airplane will be overweight. He speaks to the Seneca pilot about this and also urges him to obtain a weather briefing and file a flight plan. But the 2,200-hour non-instrument rated pilot shrugs off the concerns. He assures his friend that he has checked the weight and balance and it is okay. He promises to get a weather briefing and file a flight plan from the air. And so the Seneca 2 takes off VFR for the 558 nautical mile trip to Raleigh.
Long flight.
The National Transportation Safety Board reviewed the Seneca's weight and balance. At takeoff, the airplane was more than 300 pounds overweight and 3.4 inches aft of allowable CG. If indeed the pilot calculated the weight and balance as he told his friend, he had to know the aircraft would be operating outside its envelope.
Luckily, it stayed in the air. It was just about alright.
So why didn't he tell his friends that it was unsafe to fly and ask some of them to get out? That would have been the safest thing to do.
Clearly he wasn't big on safety.
Obviously not, because I would have said, look, this aircraft's overweight.
2 hours after departure, weather
some
south
people
of
get
the
out
Seneca's
because
flight path
it's going to crash if we're not
about
careful.
100 miles southeast, Huntington Airport is reporting winds from the northwest at 3 knots in 3/4 mile visibility. Light snow is falling under a 1,000-foot overcast. Meanwhile, 150 miles west of Huntington, at Louisville, Kentucky, snow is reported, with visibility varying between 2.5 and 4 miles. And 79 miles northeast of Huntington, at Parkersburg, West Virginia, light snow is falling in 4 miles visibility. About half an hour later, a special report is issued for heavy snow and 1/4 mile visibility. But the pilot is unaware and continues the flight. A low-pressure system associated with a crippling ice storm gripping eastern Texas, northern Arkansas, and Kentucky earlier in the week had begun tracking northeast, pumping warm, moist air on top of the colder air mass that was already in place. From midnight through 6 a.m., light snow had been reported in a widespread area west and east of the route. Radar for that period showed bands of precipitation moving from Michigan and Illinois into Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. At departure, Chicago and Raleigh reported 10 miles visibility and clear skies. But the weather system that prevailed overnight continued into the day, in spite of some scattered VFR areas. The good weather reported for Raleigh and the first half of the 500-mile route might have lulled the non-instrument-rated pilot into a false belief that VFR prevailed along the entire route that morning. Whatever the reason, he did not contact flight service as planned. A grave mistake considering the nasty weather in store.
Yeah, it just goes to show the unpredictability of weather.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was gonna...
I don't think you'll be alright without getting weather reports, and, you've got to plan.
Yeah, even though I'm on FSX, I always plan 2 or 3 times before I even attempt it.
November 8047 Charlie catches up with the weather, and marginal visual conditions give way to IMC. The pilot, now in over his head, has trouble controlling the airplane. Near Tri-State Airport in Huntington, West Virginia, the airplane becomes critically low on fuel. It is snowing. The ceiling is 1,000 foot broken, and the visibility is 2 miles.
Mayday, 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 Seneca 8047 Charlie. Seneca 8047 Charlie, go ahead. I'm flying VFR and I'm low the fuel and I need the help to land.
The pilot finally reached out for help, but by then it was already too late. The NTSB determined the airplane was using 24 gallons of fuel per hour. If the tanks were full at takeoff, they would run dry after 3 hours and 45 minutes. Even before the Mayday call, the situation was grim. As fuel became an issue and clear skies gave way to increasing clouds, the pilot quickly ran out of options, scud running in mountainous terrain in search of fuel.
You'd think he'd be more aware.
Yeah, you think he would be more safety conscious.
Charlie's radar contact 8 miles southeast of the Huntington Airport. The Class D airspace is IFR at this time. The ceiling 1,000 broken. Visibility 2 miles with light snow.
Could you give me a back foot so I can land over there?
Seneca 47 Charlie, are you capable of IFR flight?
Yes.
And Seneca
He's
47
capable,
Charlie, would
but
like
whether
an
he's
IFR clearance,
rated.
to the Huntington Airport.
Yes, please.
Seneca 47 Charlie, squawk 0163.
Could you tell me where is the airport behind me?
Seneca 47 Charlie, affirmative. The airport is behind you, about 3 miles.
Okay, I can tell now. I see the ground right now.
Seneca 47 Charlie. Seneca 47 Charlie, low altitude alert. Make sure you maintain ground contact.
I lost ground contact.
It's clearly
Seneca 47
bad
Charlie, you're about a
IFR.
mile and a half final for runway 30. It's about 2 o'clock and a mile and a half.
And not very capable of flying.
Seneca
in it.
47 Charlie, you're going back and
No,
forth.
it's
It's about 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock now.
It's going the
and
wrong
1
way.
mile.
What's he
You know,
doing?
how low
He
I
hasn't
can
planned
go?
for this.
No, he hasn't planned, has he?
Seneca 47 Charlie, you're below my minimum vectoring altitude now. The field elevation is 820. And Seneca 47 Charlie, on your current heading, you're about to fly over the airport now. Do you still have ground contact?
No,
Seneca 47 Charlie, how much fuel do you have now?
not much.
Seneca 47 Charlie, climb and maintain. Need you to climb up and maintain 2,500, and we'll give you a surveillance approach to runway 30. Maintain 2,500 and fly a heading of 170.
The Seneca is switched over to a different controller for the surveillance approach.
Seneca 47 Charlie, this is your Huntington final controller. How do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Seneca 47 Charlie, roger, I understand. This will be vector to the surveillance, final approach course, runway 30. This will be a no gyro approach. I just give you turns. The published minimum descent altitude I'll give you momentarily. When you're able, turn left, quick stand, half standard rate, left turn. Seneca 47 Charlie, you're correcting nicely. Now stop your turn, stop the turn, go wings level, and maintain 2,500. Seneca 47 Charlie, again, if you hear Huntington ident, you're still in the turn. Stop, turn, go wings level.
He's still turning, so he's going off course again.
Seneca 47
Yeah.
Charlie, go wings level. And
He's
hold
not
one
even
heading.
acknowledging.
He's struggling to control
Seneca
it.
47
Yeah, he's losing
Charlie,
control.
in that heading 120, fly heading 120. Low altitude alert, check your
Giving
altimeter,
ATC a heart attack.
3006.
Yeah, it's,
120, Seneca 847 Charlie.
you can hear he's got a warning going off in the cockpit there.
The controller
I'm not
attempts
sure what
to keep the
warning that
pilot
is.
on a heading and altitude, but the pilot has trouble complying.
Yeah, you can't keep your headings.
Get approaches here.
Could you give me a back to the airport?
Roger. I'm going to turn you on about a 4-mile final so you have a straight in. The visibility is not real good or anything on account of snow.
No, it's IFR, so it's not good at all.
Seneca 47 Charlie, runway 30 does not have approach lights on it, but the runway has been broomed and plowed. You'll see the dark strip in the snow, and the runway lights are up all the way. Seneca 47 Charlie, heading is 030. The left turn, heading is 030. You appear to be in a right turn. Again, heading is 030 when you're able.
Again, struggling to control.
I do have right now
Yeah, he's gonna
030.
lose control.
After numerous heading and altitude corrections, the controller attempts one final lineup of the Seneca for runway 30.
Now descend to your minimum descent altitude. The published minimum descent altitude is 1300. Maintain at least 1,300 or above. 1,300. Do not descend below 1,300.
1,300.
Slightly left of course, heading 300.
300.
Turn right in a right turn. Turn right, heading 320. 320. 320 in a right turn. Heading is 310.
He didn't even acknowledge that.
300.
Or he did,
Now
but he
heading
didn't acknowledge it
300.
correctly.
You're now going the wrong way. Heading is 300.
He's going the wrong way again.
Where you have,
Yeah, see, it's
VFR
really
contact
struggling
with the
to-
ground line. See, your altitude indicates you're climbing.
Really struggling to get his head in dry. He can't see anything, probably,
Seneca 47 Charlie.
because he had no plan. And now he's not responding.
Seneca 47 Charlie, how do you hear?
He stopped
Seneca
working.
47 Charlie, honey, can approach. If you hear me out
Stop
there.
responding.
Seneca 47 Charlie, radar contact is lost.
Yeah, he's completely lost control.
Seneca 47 Charlie. honey,
Yeah, he's
can
gonna
approach.
crash.
If you hear me, climb
Doesn't know where he
immediately.
is.
Climb and maintain at least 2,500. Seneca 47 Charlie, if you hear me, correction, 47 Charlie, if you hear me, please respond.
He stopped responding.
The NTSB offered these sobering facts in their preliminary investigation. On January 30th, 2009, at 1336 Eastern Standard Time, a Piper PA-34 200 Turbo, November 8047 Charlie, was destroyed when it struck high-tension power lines and collided with terrain while maneuvering for landing at the Huntington Tri-State Airport. The certificated private pilot, a certificated student pilot, and 4 passengers were fatally injured. Instrument meteorological conditions prevailed. Unfortunately, no amount of analysis can change the outcome of this accident. But even though few of us would think of launching on a 500-mile VFR cross-country over mountains without a pre-flight briefing or a check of the weather en route, we can still take important lessons from this tragedy. Ask yourself, have I ever let external pressure influence me to hurry up, take shortcuts, or press on? Have I ever pushed fuel reserves to the limits? Am I really prepared to turn around or land when the weather does not cooperate? Do I know and respect the limitations of my own piloting skill and experience? Heed the warning signs, act on them, and avoid tragedy.
Definitely.
So that is the end of that documentary, and you can see there definitely you need a flight plan. He didn't have a filed flight plan, he didn't check the weather, he didn't brief at all, and that was a 500-mile flight, and then he got stuck in a corner where you've got IFR conditions. He's pretty experienced, but didn't seem so capable in IFR conditions, struggles to control the aircraft,
And then
he's struggling to comply with ATC. They were trying to do their best to line him up, and he was just, you know, desperate to get down. He got himself in a real tight situation there.
yeah, and then he basically just lost all control.
Yeah, and obviously it's IFR, so you're not going to know where the ground is. You're not necessarily going to know, you know, there's terrain, there's power lines, whatever he crashed into coming up ahead, and yeah,
You're not going to know when to pull up.
you would need to know about the weather and the fact that you need to be aware there's possible bad conditions at such and such airport. You need to know where you can divert to. You need to plan your fuel and know, okay, I'm going to have a small amount of fuel when I get to the airport. What if conditions are bad? You have to be able to plan those things, and he didn't do that. And clearly, even with the weight issue, he wasn't that interested in safety. He just wanted to get moving, get there, and land, and that was his only objective. Alright, thanks for watching this mini air crash investigation. I hope it was interesting and you enjoyed.
List, exit, stop recording.